stuff from your few years?
No, not with steam-powered giraffe. I don't know. I have some two embarrassing stories from dancing the Nutcracker with my ballet company back in San Diego. Let's see. One time I was a mouse. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Nutcracker, but Clara, has a dream that she shrinks down to toy size, and there's like all these evil mice running around the living room. I was one of the mice, and me and some friends were. There was a staircase. We had to crawl down the staircase on all four, on our arms, our hands and legs. And I, right at the top of the staircase, lost my footing and just slid all the way down the staircase, face first onto the floor. And then one time, my opposite cast caught the flu, so they threw me into a costume, into the Waltz of the Flowers. I had to put the tutu on that didn't fit me, and thank God I was wearing a nude leotard underneath, because it didn't fit me, and I just flashed the audience. But at least it was a leotard, but you can't tell from the audience, it's like flesh colored, and that was mortifying, but you get through it. I'm still alive.
And there was that time when Steve peed his pants.
Tell us about that time.
He cried. Oh, did he cry?
I think that was a one-shot story that was written for the Engineer Tours. No, I don't really have embarrassing moments. I only have shows that I remember as being particularly not well mixed. Like the one in the airplane hangar was terrible. There was one that we did in Illinois that was pretty bad, but those are the only embarrassing parts that I personally feel. As far as the show itself, I'm good. You can't see what I'm doing back there.
There's a recording of Honeybee going around right now that is just the most. It's like the one time you get it wrong, and it's the most popular Honeybee of recent memory. And it's mortifying to watch.
To be fair, the last Honeybee that went up was also one that I think something cut out, and it was like.
You just can't win with Honeybee. People love that song, and they just.
Well, that's why people see it. No one sees the other songs.
Right,
when they crash and burn.
Every other song in that show was amazing, and then Honeybee's just like.
So it's more like personal embarrassment. We're embarrassed rather than like at the show people were like, oh. It was more like we hit this wrong note or something.
We were just singing it flat the entire time, or sharp. I can't remember.
Yeah, technical issue.
It was not the best setup for us, but that's not an excuse. We just got, I got off and I drug everyone with me.
But to be fair, all the other songs sounded good for that show.
Right.
There was that one time that we totally.
There was that one time I just remembered that we got way off on. It was either Mecto Amor. Mecto Amor, that's the one. Yeah, we just got way off on Mecto Amor. I don't remember if we had to start over.
We played a click track. So
I think you actually started singing again, and we just sped up.
Mecto Amor happened multiple times, and one time I think Steve came in and he started singing.
I'm just yelling on the mic because they have their in-ear monitors, so I'm just going into their ears. I'm just yelling the lyrics on beat, and hopefully they get back on track, which I think they did that time.
That's weird.
Yeah, playing to a backing track with drums and stuff. There's some challenges. To be fair, there's only been a few. It happens every once in a while in a few hundred shows, I guess. Maybe in the last 2 years it's happened once.
Better than me playing drums, let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, it's also we can also take the act to more places.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for that journey down memory lane. You jogged a lot.
Nice. A lot of pain came back.
We're feeling pretty bad. We're feeling pretty bad about ourselves now. But let's move on to another question.
We're embarrassed
Great question.
This is the
Tell us about how much you suck. Well, we do what we can.
Gentleman with the beard and the black shirt.
No, it was a lovely question.
Back during your early days, did you hate doing covers like Mac the Knife?
We chose. Sorry. Did we hate doing covers back in the early days, like Mac the Knife? We actually liked doing Mac the Knife because that was our whole bit. And we never actually sang the song because we couldn't in a public place because it's a song about killing people. But that whole bit was engineered by us, and Steam Powered Giraffe used to do these kind of pseudo songs. They were, harmonizable enough, but they were silly. And they kind of became a staple, and Mac Tonight was about McDonald's, but to the tune of Mac the Knife.
Yeah, the thing, we used to do this stuff, but it was because we were out street performing and playing these pseudo songs with bits, because we really liked, the characters and stuff. But when we went to the zoo, they didn't want any of that, so we kind of made it more musical and stuff. So there was a big transition there. And if we did that stuff now, our show would be like 3 hours long. So, but because when we're out when we started, it was like 20-minute sets maybe, but we did like 7 of them a day.
I don't think I can handle 3 hours of that.
No, I mean, it was easier when,
I'm glad she's gonna blow.
but yeah, so that stuff we definitely made ourselves. But the cover songs we did for the zoo, for our run there at 2011 to 2012, it was forced upon us.
So we picked songs that we wouldn't hate singing.
And then by the end of each run, they just weren't paying attention, and then we started just playing our original stuff. I mean,
We played mostly originals and we peppered in some.
and every once in a while I was like, oh, are you playing a cover song in any of these sets? Like, oh yeah, next set, of course.
This was a great learning experience for me. For learning how to play drums. So.
There was a few good covers we did, but I don't think we
did
hated
the Bee
anything.
Gees.
Tragedy,
Yeah, Tragedy was good, and then Blaming It All on the Nights on Broadway.
Nights on Broadway. We did
Dr. Doolittle's
Magical Mystery Tour.
It's a magical, yeah.
And they were all pretty great. We all traded off. Like Michael Reed at times sang of some. John did some. We made the best of the bad situation.
I guess we're really just not a cover band anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, when we do a cover, it's supposed to be like tongue in cheek, like.
Nobody. I mean, we don't have any covers that have made us popular at all. Not one. Not a single one has increased our popularity.
Well, our second most popular is a song written by Sia Fuller, made popular by Rihanna, called Diamonds, and that was a fluke, because in your mind you think, I'm trolling everyone, but then it gets popular and people.
Because you're so great.
Well, I mean, when you play a comedy thing, you play it like straight. Like, you're not supposed to play like, look at me. But then people are like, oh, that voice is so
you're
good.
singing with a giraffe with bubbles and diamonds in the background.
I think that was CG's premiere too. I think most people get it, but when you get people who are like, oh, yeah, I don't really care about your other stuff, but I really love the diamond stuff. You sing great in that. I'm like, well, boy, they're completely missing the point of the act, but I guess that's great. Because it's not like any of us went out, well, maybe we did, but we didn't go into this act like, I'm going to sing and people are going to listen to me and they're going to say, what a wonderful voice. We did it because we like performing. At least for Steve and Giraffe, right?
We hope people get the joke, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe people just think that we take ourselves too seriously.
Maybe it's a testament to the quality of our jokes.
Time will tell.
Well, I don't think we've recreated Diamonds again. I think the rest of them were more obviously joking.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was the question?
Who cares? Let's have there's a question. There's a question all the way in the back. Man with goggles on a path behind you.
Yeah, this doesn't sound covered, but how much did you guys enjoy working with the Cock is Dead?
How much did we enjoy working with The Cock is Dead?
It was not as much. We've played with them on a good like a handful of times, and they're always real nice to us and stuff. So it was a real honor for them to ask us to join them on a song. But yeah, it wasn't a lot of work for me. Just that he wrote the song. And
John Sprocket. He pretty much is the act, and he has some musicians who are amazing that join him for live stuff. But he does everything himself, like all the recording, even all the singing and stuff. So it was literally just him and I Dropboxing stuff back and forth to each other, and it was like the easiest person I've ever worked with. Like, since he does everything himself, but I respect the Cock is Dead because John does everything himself, and that's kind of what we do too. So it was like he knows how to be a musician. He's also like a video editor as a professional, and he's a professional voice actor. So his group is like his side project almost, and
Here's the video.
amazing.
The song in question, the incredible Jelly Donut Juicer.
I mean, he's got
Oh,
like,
that's
this is
all
all
digital.
CG, yeah,
That's
it's
all
like crazy.
CG.
It's, I was just happy to be in one of his amazing videos.
yeah, it's more of like a modern get together instead of we didn't like get into a room and hash out an idea. It was more like hey, do you guys, was sending, like what David said, sending files through the internet.
I mean, I Skyped with him like a bunch of times, and that was kind of just getting a feel of what he wanted. And we threw some harmonies at him, a few different versions of it, and I can't remember what he settled on, but it sounds great to me. And he has a great voice.
Now he owes us a song though, so
So we get to put him on one of our songs in the future.
and I'm just gonna throw it out there. Hey, you want to make the video?
Because
You're
boy,
great.
they're pretty amazing.
I mean, this is amazing. This is just incredible. Like,
I mean, he does it for a living. That's what he gets paid to do. So.
That's right, folks. To worry about
Plus, it's pretty steampunk, too. We also did another collaboration, while we're on this, with Professor Elemental, the gentleman rhymer, which is kind of like chap hop, right? Does he do that? No, he does something else. Is it chap hop?
it's yeah.
They consider chap hop, right?